Let's do a throwback to the time I cooked the whole meal on my washer and dryer. So you might be sitting there saying, why would you cook a meal on your washer and dryer? Well, this was during our kitchen renovation, and at this time, this was 2 years ago, so my whole kitchen was nothing but just plain walls. And by walls, I mean there was no sheetrock, there was nothing, it was just the outside walls. We had just demolished everything in December of the previous year, and this was January of that following year, so we hadn't even started putting up sheetrock yet. And I still had to cook because we still had to eat. So I took my pressure cooker that I had at the time, and I set it up on my washing machine, and I decided to cook us some stew beef. That seemed like the easiest and quickest route, with me working with no kitchen to try to get dinner on the stove and still have a home-cooked meal and not have to spend a bunch of extra money. And let's be honest, who doesn't like pressure cooker stew beef? Because you don't even have to stand over the stove. You just set the timer for an hour, and the pressure cooker does the work for you. Now, we also had this little gas burner, so I used my dryer to cook us some green beans to go along with our stew beef. Those were green beans that we had grew in our garden the previous year, and I had just put them in the freezer. I blanched the string beans and then I froze them. I don't think we're going to grow that many string beans this year in our garden because we have plenty of string beans from the previous year. Now, I paused the pressure cooker at about 45 minutes or so I could make some gravy and give that time to thicken up. So I mixed me up a flour slurry and poured it into the pressure cooker and then put the lid back on it and let it cook a little bit longer. But I also made us some rice on top of my dryer too. Y'all, I cooked the whole entire home-cooked meal on top of my washer and dryer. So what I'm trying to tell you folks is, don't let your situation keep you down. Y'all have a good evening. I'll see y'all later.